Hey, what's up, everybody? So, you already know what it is. There's a new ASAP Rocky Clams Casino leak. So, I mean, come on. I'm going to jump into that right away, all right? Now, of course, I get excited whenever I see something like this because, Clams and ASAP are, your Snoop and Dre, your Nas and Primo, right? Like, every great rapper, behind every great rapper is a great producer, and vice versa. That's why I say if you are an aspiring rapper, you must find your muse, that producer that just gets you, that can challenge you, right? Not just that is going to give you repetitive shit, but is going to challenge you. They get you, but they want you to be the best version of you. So they might even give you something that's a little off kilter, but it's fucking ill, right? Perfect example is Second Childhood by Nas. It's a little off kilter. It's not your typical primo beat, but it's also your typical. It's primo, but it's a little off kilter, right? You get you get the vibe of primo, and you're listening to it going like, what the fuck is this? And it's one of the best songs Nas ever recorded, right? You can't be a great rapper without having that producer that has defined you, right? And really, you can't be a great producer without having a great rapper that has defined you. Let's be honest, because again, it's a symbiotic relationship. Think about this list, right? Nas. Every one of these guys has that producer that really brought it out of them, that put them on that greatness pedestal. Nas, I'd argue, is primo. I mean, of course, Nas worked with Large Professor. You could argue Large Professor, but I would say primo more so than Large because even though Large is pivotal to Nas's creation, right? The Nas that you know and love is because of Large in a big way. But I would argue that Primo edges out Large because, well, they've kind of done more stuff, and like you have stuff like Nas's like in Second Childhood that really just put Nas. I mean, Nas was already incredible, and then he came out with those songs and was like, "Oh yeah, you are one of one. Like you are the guy." So I would argue Nas and Primo. Jay Z, for me personally, I would argue that the most important producer in Jay Z's catalog and his life is Timbaland. I think Jay Z and Timbaland, and they have, and I think Timbaland himself has even said this, Jay Z being his favorite rapper, and I think you can hear it. Like they had something, they just had a crazy chemistry. Of course, you could also throw in Swizz. Swizz Beats is up there. You could throw in Primo as well, because of course Primo is a brilliant producer, so he has a lot of these moments with a lot of people. But I would say not as like again the Primo stuff that Jay has is phenomenal, but I think that Jay became Jay, like that cutting edge, money talks, swagger, New York. I think he became that because of Timbaland, and you heard it. I heard it, man. What Jigga who? Get that dog. Get like Big Pimpin'. Big Pimpin' was you can't overstate how crazy that record was, man. I was there. I was around for this shit. I told you I've always said like when I heard Big Pimpin' the first time, it was something like the Mummy to me, but in rap form. And I'm in Saudi Arabia. People are playing each. I didn't like. It was the wildest shit to me because it sounded like desert music. You know what I mean? And like it's just wild. It's an Egyptian sample. I grew up with Egyptians anyway. So Prodigy, Havoc, right? There's Prodigy's had great beats from other people, sure, but Havoc is Prodigy, right? Ghostface, RZA, obviously, right? Biggie. Now this one is interesting. When it comes to Big, who's that producer? This one is a little trickier. I almost want to say Easy Moby. I almost want to say Easy. It's up there. Also Primo as well, but yeah, maybe I would say Easy Moby, right? Flavor in the Air remix, The Warning. Like, bro, you live in Brooklyn, you're gonna hear The Warning. Like, it just is what it is. Like, you hear it at freaking coffee shops and shit like that. Like, it's just, the shit is quite fucking classic. Who the fuck is this? So Snoop, obviously, Dre, Busta Rhymes, DJ Scratch, I would say. I mean, of course, you could throw in Dilla. You could throw in Neptunes. I think Neptunes really took Busta Rhymes to another level as well. In a more pop like mainstream way, but still very hip hop. Um, but I would say DJ Scratch. That one was tough, But Q-Tip is obviously Tip. DMX, Swizz. Let's be honest. Again, you see where I'm going with this. Like, you got to have that guy that really understands you. Redman, maybe Eric Sermon, Rockwilder, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, right? And again, it's interesting. You'll notice how from 1 to 11 that I've just mentioned, it's kind of like you kind of start hearing some of the same names, right? You start hearing the Primos, the Timbalands. It's just repetitive. The RZAs. It's the same people, right? Because that's why these guys are considered to be the greatest producers of all time. Because they've made great shit for a lot of people. Career-defining shit. And we're not talking about streams or sales and none of that shit. Okay? We don't care about that. I'm just talking art. We're talking the stuff that people love and remember. So that's why whenever I see something with A$AP Rocky and Clams Casino, to me, this is the heart of A$AP Rocky's entire vibe, right? Like, again, on Live Love A$AP, it was brilliant because you had A$AP Ty Beats, who made great shit. Beautiful Lou, shout out to Beautiful Lou. I wish Beautiful Lou, what up? I wish I heard more Beautiful Lou. I mean, if anybody can leak, or Beautiful Lou, if you ever see this, can you please put out some of the shit you did with Rocky? Because to me, the A$AP Rocky Beautiful Lou relationship, oh my God, one of the greatest what ifs of this decade, last decade, for sure. For sure. How do you make a song like Trilla and Kissing Pink and you guys don't work together again? It's just the number one question I've always had. But again, Ty, Lila Duff, SGP, right? But to me, Clams is the heart of A$AP Rocky's vibe. So, yeah, anything that these guys come out with, I'm going to listen to. So, I'm going to react to this. I haven't heard the song. Let me see what this is all about.
Thinking about your smile, damn it's been a while. Thinking about the past and how I used to treat you foul. Shit that never made me proud. We should've took our vows. You should've been my wife, plus the mother of my child. Now you got a new dude, but fuck your new nigga. Motherfucking twice, shit, I'm talking 2 fingers. Always did you wrong, but now I feel the pain. I think about you every now and then. Do you feel the same? I know you're on the prowl, riding around town. Do I cross your mind every once in a while? Do you think about me sometimes? Do you think about me sometimes? I know I let you down, smile is now a frown. But do I cross your mind every once in a while? Do you think about me sometimes? Do you think about me sometimes? Yeah.
My initial thoughts to this is, well, I mean, again, I can see why this was left off. I don't know what era this was. This seems like probably, if I had to guess, this would have been something that was recorded. Probably, I would, if I had to guess, I would say Long Live A$AP era. It was after Live Love A$AP, I think, because I think Clams was just in a certain bag. So this beat kind of reminds me of a beat that Clams did called Conversations, I believe. A little bit, not entirely, but which I love, by the way. I love this beat. A little bit. It has, it's not a one-to-one thing, but it has that sort of old picture nostalgia thing, which I think A$AP Rocky does extraordinarily well. And I think in general, really, I think rap is very nostalgic at its core, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I kind of can hear a little bit of that sort of emotional tone. This beat is okay. The topic is cool, actually. I think it's a thoughtful topic, and I actually think that this could have been a great song. with a better beat, and also like I think Rocky's a little too. It's like a little too. I think he needs a little bit of lift in his voice, if that makes sense. So I can see why this was left off the cutting room floor. I'm not really like I'm not feeling it like that, but I mean it's okay. Again, when these guys make art, it's not like I'm listening like to what's that guy, Bossman D'Lo or some shit. It's just straight garbage, right? Like these guys just make 500 songs and they hope that one sticks type of thing. Like when you're looking at artists that actually put some sort of effort into making something interesting and incredible, even their stuff that's like not so great, oftentimes is like at least interesting to check out, right?
Had the body of a goddess, to smash it, you'll be on it. Her brains was like the smartest, but that ass was so retarded. Ass like a Mack truck, back it up and park it. She remind me of my Jeep, but she don't know a nigga charge it. To my other bitch credit, my other bitch pregnant. I'm too much of a man to have another bitch deaded. Yeah, I did a lot of things, a lot which I regretted. Yeah, I'm stuck in my ways, but I changed in a second for you. Now you putting on your best fucking dress, trying to get your body to the left, to the left. Now you're single, ready to mingle, but you know your sex was the best, so I'm left with the rest. Because every bad girl's a good girl in the beginning, and every broken heart can take a million years to fix it. You bend it when you mend it, I said it and I meant it. We all know when we wrong, but not a lot can admit it. I know you're on the prowl, ride around town. Do I crush your mind every once in a while? Do you think about me sometimes? Do you think about me sometimes? I know I let you down, smile is now a frown, but do I crush your mind every once in a while? Do you think about me sometimes? Do you think about me sometimes?
That ending is cool. I like that. It's like a fever dream, Some eternal sunshine, spotless mind shit, and it's like you wake up and isn't that how it is sometimes? When you think about the ex, and you wonder, alternative realities and all that, what could have happened, and it's just and then you wake up and it's like, oh, back to reality. So yeah, that song was. Let me see what these guys are saying. There must be comments. Yeah, Clams and Rocky, match made in heaven. You know what's interesting? I thought about this, like in terms of now. I don't shout out to ASAP Archive. Big ups, my man. So, I sometimes wonder. I'm like, we getting these Clams Casino leaks because Rocky is, in trial? Is this his way of like, jazzing up the fans a bit so that we, feel attached to him in a sense? Because obviously we don't want Rocky to go to jail. Who the hell wants Rocky to go to, other than the people involved, I would say. But again, at the end of the day, man, if you do the crime, you must do the time. That's just the way I look at it. Now, again, I can't comment on what happened because I wasn't there, and you know me, I am a fan of the artist's music. I don't live through these niggas, so it's very possible that ASAP Rocky could be a horrible person in real life. How would I know, right? He could be a cool cat in real life. How would I know? I've never met the dude. I've never hung out with him. I don't know him personally, but I know that he's made some incredible music in his day, and so I'm endeared to him in that regard, I would say. Anyway, it's just an interesting timing. Let me put it that way. That some of these songs are coming out. So yeah, there you go. ASAP Rocky. Sometimes I wanted to talk about very briefly Clams Casino. I mean, look, this guy does stuff again that like I just think is so cool. Like it's still hip hop, but he has these long intros, right? Where you can you're just sitting there listening and you don't even feel like bored. You're just like, it's intriguing because you're like, where is this gonna go, right? I'm on this journey with you through this forest, hazy forest of sorts, right? Like. Now, I would argue that I think there's a part in there where I'm like, kind of, it's not as like a seamless opening in a sense, and it does go on a tad too long. Um, but again, I do like Clams' openings of some of these songs. I'm struggling to think of, the most classic one, Jesus. I remember hearing this the day it leaked. This is one of those musical experiences I will never forget, man. I was headed to work. I was working at a bank at the time, and I had to wake up. It was one of those jobs. It was like real early. You had to start really early, and I just remember I woke up and I saw like it was like maybe like 5:30 in the morning. I might have talked about this already, but it was like 5 in the morning, like during winter. Was it winter when this leaked? I don't remember, but anyway, because for those of those of y'all who know, Long Live ASAP leaked months before it was released commercially. Months. I mean, people were fiending for the shit, including me. But people were really like, "Oh my god!" Right? So I go online. It's leaked. I'm like, "Holy shit!" Now I don't. I get the songs, whatever, put it on my phone. I think was it my phone? What was I listening to it on? I don't remember. But the point is that I head out and I get on the bus. And at that time of day, it was still dark because it's like, maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's Canada, right? During sort of like colder months and things like that. It takes a while for the sun to come up. And I remember the first time, Locked and Loaded, LVL came on, it was literally as the sunrise. I kid you not. That sounds like crazy to say that shit, but it was literally as the sun was coming up. And I was just like, oh, and I knew it was Clams right away. Because the first time I didn't really look into the track list because it wasn't really a track list. It just leaked. So I remember hearing the first couple of songs, right? Let's go back a little bit. And I was so disappointed. I remember thinking, oh, this is not it, man. Long Live ASAP. The first song was like Cheeks to me. I mean, looking back, it wasn't the worst song, but again, this is like you're hearing somebody who's right off Live Love ASAP, who came out with Goldie, so you're like, oh shit. Long Live ASAP, I was like, okay, I don't really care for this. Goldie was dope. Shout out to Hit Boy. I've clowned Hit Boy's beats. I think this is probably the best beat he's ever made. Certainly one of them, top 3. This was actually a really dope beat. Like, again, not crazy. It's not Clams Casino crazy. It's nothing as crazy as what I would say is on Live Love ASAP. But for a commercial sounding type of beat, kind of that others can get, it's a good beat. It's definitely a good beat. PMW. I heard PMW, but I didn't quite care for it because I had heard the Clue version and I knew it was different. They had changed it a little bit. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, this is already a disappointing. And then that LVL. Oh, my God. Ah! Right away. It was like a reset. Like, I don't know how to describe it. That shit pumped so much energy in me, man. I was like, ah! I think I literally went like down on the bus. I was like, what the hell? Because it's just like, okay, rewind. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's take it back to what you love about this dude. This intro was crazy. And again, to this day, I think we would all say that this was the best song on the entire project. And the fact that they never came out with a video, like, come on. I know that Hype Williams, from what I understand, Hype Williams shot a video. Maybe it was trash and they dumped it or something happened. But to this day, I'm like, oh, they should have done it. Like, they should have put out a video. That's something I would love to see leaked. Can someone leak the LVL, Locked and Loaded video, please? Anyway, I've said enough. Love y'all. Peace.